Yeah, folks, we're having torrential rain today and it's really wet. So it's going to look a bit dark in here, and yes, it's very damp. So it's not good for the photocopier or the paper. And also I have my bathroom nearby. So there's, unfortunately, without the dry weather, this place is going to probably have a high humidity. Hopefully it won't interfere too much with my demos, but you can see it's very dark. It's just after midday, or nearly, or just, it's more than half an hour after midday. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I can just hear a high-pitched squeak. It's not a good sound, and a low-pitched squeak, which we normally hear. So this is basically Konica Minolta's bad quality control, I do believe. I have every reason to believe that. I think Konica Minolta are a bunch of assholes, but they're not responsible for the weather, so let me just get that straight with you folks. They're not responsible for the weather, so they're not the ones controlling the dampness or anything, so let me just put that into perspective. We can't blame them for everything. When we blame a company, or when we put down a company, we've got to have facts, or at least we've got to have enough information that, and if you make a mistake or an error reporting the facts, well, basically you have to own up to it as well, because, you know, you've got to have facts before you can destroy a company. But anyway, enough of that. We're going to photocopy this. A Mountain Dew can. So yeah, you can only damage a company if you've got the tabs on them, the right tabs. You can't do it just because you want to or because you're angry. You've got to have the right information and the right intentions and the reasons. It's not something that you can take lightly or do in a light-hearted fashion. Although my put-downs of Konica Minolta sound light-hearted, well, they're meant to sound light-hearted, but they're really serious about the badness of the company. That they don't make their equipment last long enough, or their equipment is too plasticky, for example. So yeah, but anyway, we've got a nice looking image off this Mountain Dew can. I think we can use this to make an interesting piece of work. So now we're just going to put this to the recycle pile. But that looks really quite nice, actually. So I'm going to have to somehow crop this image properly. So we're going to put that up the top, and we're going to basically maybe enlarge it along the horizontal a bit. So we're just going to overlap it a bit. We're going to make this look really nice, folks. So we're just going to overlap it. I think we're going to make it, we'll see how we go. I can't see very clearly because of this darkness, because we've got just a load of dark weather. So we're going to just quickly set this silly shitter up, and we're going to change the zoom. So it says B5 landscape, so we can do an enlargement. I think B5 to A4. It's only a smallish enlargement, and on the bottom, that's the horizontal. The vertical is going to just be a small one, 104. So we're just doing it that way. See if we can make this look really, really nice as an interesting piece of work. We're just going to drop the dock feeder on it now. But let's just see how we go in setting it up. I think the copy density is going to remain the same, and the contrast and everything else. So let's just bang away, so to speak. Yeah, it's very dark. It's not like it's the end of the day. It's just very dark weather. There's not much sunshine in this in this today. But anyway, that looks interesting. I think we can keep it like that, and we're going to make a lovely mirror image out of it. I'm just wondering if we should push it up a bit, but that bit at the top makes it look interesting. It's part of the can. I think we're going to keep that. So now we've got the right enlargement. So now we're just going to, yeah, but it's a very dark day, folks. So far the paper looks all right, but we've only been doing this for a few minutes now, so we only just put the paper in about a quarter of an hour ago. But it does get pretty damp quickly sometimes, the paper. So now we're just going to quickly, we're going to set this on. I'm going to set this in place so we don't get any machine errors with the mirror images. It's hard to know when they're going to happen, these errors with the original size detection. So I just thought as a precaution, we've got to put two of them in, and then we hit start. But roly-polies are normally very difficult, and I've spent make my demo really long trying to get a good roly-poly, but this roly-poly looks like it's worked creatively. It's not just a straight roll of the can and that's it. It's got a nice angle to it, and it looks very has a good creative flourish to it, even if I say so myself. So I just nudged that piece out of position, unfortunately, which is a nuisance when I do that. So now we're just going to line this one up. They've changed the slogan on this can. It used to say Mountain Dew, do the dew, but now it says Energised. But enough of that. I think now that looks like something very interesting. I think we can call this lovely little demo quits.